What's up, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs? Welcome to the latest episode of the Valenti VOD. I'm your host, Chris Valenti, and today we've got some terrible news. Israel has launched its largest single-day attack in the entirety of their genocidal campaign against the Palestinians, killing over 400 people, most of which were women and children. And this act violated the ceasefire that they have had since about January of this year. This is March 18th, 2025. And on the same day, today, as of filming this, Putin and Trump had a call to discuss the potential 30-day ceasefire between the Russians and the Ukrainians, and Putin will not sign it. This is exactly what I said would happen in my previous videos, where I said, Putin's got all the cards. Why the fuck would he give Zelensky 30 days to rearm and reamass and prepare for the second assault? And this is exactly what's happening. So on the same day that Israel violated their ceasefire, it seems like Russia just refuses to sign theirs. So we're going to take a deep dive into all of this, but before we do, I want to remind you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it helps me immensely. However, if you do want to help me out financially, there's a couple ways you could do that. You could buy some of this dope-ass merch down below. Get yourself a mug and a shirt. And you can also use the 20% off discount link to Ground News, which is what I use to parse through all of the bullshit and come to my own conclusions. And then the last way you could do it is by becoming a member of the channel for $5, which will give you early access to these videos, and it'll give you access to an upcoming show that is going to be members only. So without further ado, let's take a deep dive into this crazy fucking shit. I've got an article here from the AP News. Netanyahu says Israeli strikes across Gaza that killed hundreds are, quote, only the beginning. This is so fucked up. Deir al-Balah, Gaza Strip, Associated Press. Israel launched airstrikes across the Gaza Strip early Tuesday that killed more than 400 Palestinians, a local health official said, shattering a ceasefire in place since January as it vowed to force Hamas to release more hostages and relinquish control of the territory. Now, again, guys, something that I've talked about before is that hostages are a bargaining chip, right? You would not get rid of your bargaining chip, especially if the enemy has a nuclear-powered weapon that could just destroy you and your entire generation. But I want you to think for a second about all those hostages that were killed, right? And Hamas came out and said, why we didn't kill the hostages. And Israel came out and said, we didn't kill the hostages. Why would Hamas kill a hostage that they're using as a bargaining chip to try and get the genocide to end? It makes no sense. And I believe there's only about 53 or 57 hostages left of the somewhere between like 200 and 230 hostages that were taken on October 7th by Hamas. So Israel has just bombed their own hostages to smithereens, which is the same reason why these families haven't gotten the bodies back. There probably aren't any bodies to give back. So let's keep on reading. Sorry for being so, blunt about this. This is just how I am. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered the strikes after Hamas refused Israeli demands to free half of the remaining hostages as a precondition for extending the ceasefire. Israel's deadliest bombardment of the territory in the 17-month war killed mostly women and children, according to the Gaza Health Ministry. Netanyahu said the attack was, quote, only the beginning, and that Israel would press ahead until it achieves all of its war aims, destroying Hamas and freeing all hostages held by the militant group. See, here's the thing about quote-unquote destroying Hamas. This is something that America learned during our 22-year-long war on terror. There's a thing called jihadi math. You cannot win a war on terror. And why is that? It's because of jihadi math. Usually, 1 minus 1 equals 0. But when you're dealing with a group like Hamas or Al-Qaeda or ISIS, 1 minus 1 equals 2. Now, how does that make sense? Well, when you're fighting against a terrorist organization, right, those people have families and friends, right? So hypothetically, let's say there's a terrorist and he's got 20 family members and none of them are part of the terrorist organization. In fact, they think Uncle Dave, the terrorist, they think he's fucking nuts, right? They think he's crazy. And then one day, Israel decides to target and bomb Uncle Dave despite the fact that he's surrounded by his entire family. Boom. 20 of the 20 family members, one survives. However, the bomb took out the terrorist, Uncle Dave, right? So now that Dave is gone, and the one survivor saw, or let's call it two survivors, the two survivors of the 20 family members saw just what Israel was willing to do to this family and their house, and just to get one guy, right? Now suddenly they go, shit, Uncle Dave was right. Now you got two. You took out Dave, and you got Donnie and Danny. All right, that's jihadi math. This is something that the U.S. Army understood and realized we will never win this war because every action that we are taking is reinforcing their cause. And that's what you're seeing in the Middle East. Every time Israel drops a 2,000-pound fucking Moab, it's going to create more vindication. People are going to want revenge, and this is why Hamas is still in the ruling power of Gaza. It's not because the people are being taken the Israelis. It's not because the Palestinians are taken hostage by Hamas. That's not it. It's because Hamas is the only people who are there for them while Israel is bombing the ever-loving fuck out of them. So despite them being a terrorist organization, it's the only hope that they have, right? So if you wanted the end of Hamas, what you would do is stop bombing Gaza, so that maybe the people of Palestine could come to their own conclusions and vote in their own representatives that aren't Hamas. Regardless, let's keep on reading a little bit of this. We have a lot to cover today, so we're not going to read this entire article. All further ceasefire negotiations will take place under fire, he said in a statement aired on national television. Do we have the video here? No, we don't. He said in a statement aired on national television, the White House said it had been consulted and voiced support for Israel's actions. The Israeli military ordered people to evacuate eastern Gaza and head toward the center of territory, indicating that Israel could soon launch renewed ground operations. The new campaign comes as aid groups warn supplies are running out 2 weeks after Israel cut all food, medicine, fuel, and other goods to Gaza's 2 million Palestinians. I'm going to see, this is just an image, doesn't matter. So, guys, we've seen throughout this 17-month war, we've seen, the Israelis label the Palestinians as, what do they call them? Animals, and living monsters, right? And they need to be treated as such. We've seen them turn off the electricity, turn off the water, turn off the food trucks, to the point where when food trucks and aid trucks were making their way in, fucking the Israelis decided to bomb them despite them not even being a target, right? Over 70 journalists killed simply being there, right? Israel has absolutely no regard for the life of the Palestinians, and now that Donald Trump is in power, Trump is emboldening, he's enabling Benjamin Netanyahu. I mean, you saw the AI video of Gaza. Trump, Gaza #1. Like, you saw that. Trump has made it very clear, both verbally and contractually, that Benjamin Netanyahu can go ahead and escalate the genocide, clear out as many of these people as he possibly can in order for both the U.S. and Israel to get vested interests in these areas, whether it be a Trump Tower or a Netanyahu hotel, right? To the point where I just want to show you this here. I don't know if you know this, but there was a hold on during Biden's presidency on the 2,000-pound bombs to Israel. Now, I don't know exactly what constitutes a Moab, right? A Moab, mother of all bombs. But a 2,000-pound bomb, if that's not a Moab, I don't know what is. What the fuck? So, there was a hold on it, and Trump ended the hold on the delivery of 2,000-pound bombs, right? The shipment was withheld by the Biden administration due to his concerns over potential use in densely populated areas of Gaza. There's Trump with his fight fist. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys here. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Saturday night that he had lifted a hold put in place by former President Joe Biden on a shipment of 2,000-pound bombs for Israel. And he has the audacity to wonder why the Houthis are stopping U.S. shipments into Israel with their fucking pirates. The whole point of the Houthi rebels stopping U.S. shipments is because we keep arming the fucking Israelis, dude. And then Trump goes, we're giving them 2,000-pound Moabs. We're going to bomb the ever-loving fuck out of those kids. Most of these victims are women and children. This bombing run, by the way, that killed 400 people, they got 3 Hamas terrorists. 3 Hamas terrorists. And fucking, I mean, dude, I've seen the pictures. I'm not going to show you the pictures because they're abhorrent. I'm talking literal infants. Infants. These pictures, heads are gone. Limbs are gone. It's so fucked up. And then Netanyahu goes up and goes, this is just the beginning. My name is Benjamin Netanyahu, and this is just the beginning. To all Hamas terrorists, just know that I've got 10 more 2,000-pound bombs from President Donald Trump of the United States, and we will be turning you into dust. It's this guy, just so you know, guys, this guy's a war criminal. And that's not hyperbole. That's not hyperbole. This is the fucking International Criminal Court's website. Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, accused, last name Netanyahu, first name Benjamin, charges, allegedly responsible for the war crimes of starvation as a method of warfare and of intentionally directing an attack against the civilian population, and the crimes against humanity of murder, persecution, and other inhumane acts from at least 8 October 2023 until at least May of 2020. It's still going, but like, accused crime, war crimes, crimes against humanity. Now, here's the thing. It shouldn't surprise you that Donald Trump is fucking supporting this man. The same thing with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. But Donald Trump is a war criminal. He's committed many a war crime. So did Joe Biden. So did Barack Obama. So did George W. Bush. So did Bill Clinton. So did George H.W. Bush. What the fuck do you think it takes to be the president of the United States of America? Motherfucker, Barack Obama has been to more weddings than anyone on planet Earth. And if you get that joke, you know what I'm talking about. The guy would drop cluster bombs on weddings. What? What are you doing? Can't you wait until the day after, my guy? This is the type of shit that American presidents do, and yet we have it, written into law, enshrined into law, that the president cannot be held responsible for the crimes that he commits while he is the president, which is the same reason why Donald Trump has said before, where he goes, I could go out and shoot a man on Fifth Avenue and they would still vote for me. And he's right. And not only could he do that, he couldn't even get in trouble if he did. So, listen, this fucking bombing run, they blew up a hospital. Israel blew up another hospital. I'm pretty sure that's the 20th hospital that they've blown up in this 17-month campaign. And we have reporting from an Australian medic who is there trying to provide care. And it's some of the most fucking abhorrent shit I've ever heard. We're going to watch this together. Don't worry. There's no graphic videos of anything. This is just his account, and he looks so fucking exhausted. I really do pity this guy. Let's go big screen.
We've worked throughout the entire night. We haven't stopped. The bombing has been non-stop. We've run out of ketamine. We've run out of...
You hear that, Elon? They ran out of ketamine because you keep using it all.
Propofol. We've run out of all painkillers.
That was a dark joke. I'm sorry.
We can't sedate anyone. We can't give them any analgesia. When we intubate people, they wake up and they're choking because we have no sedation.
If you don't know what intubating is, it's when they put a fucking tube down your neck to help you breathe. These people are waking up in the middle of that and they're choking because they have no fucking sedation.
There are 7 girls getting their legs amputated, no anesthesia.
Jesus Christ.
The bombing is still going on. The room is still shaking.
Guys, this is today. This is right now as I'm filming this. This is right now. I am so tired of living through history. I started this whole fucking channel teaching about horrible historic events so that maybe people would learn a lesson from it. Maybe people would recognize the patterns as it went on around them. But no. I gotta move the mic. I gotta turn it down a little bit. I'm sorry I'm yelling so much. I'm sorry I get so emotional. But, you know, I don't think being emotional is bad, especially in times like this.
I haven't slept. We went to bed at about 1 o'clock, and at 1:30 the bombing started. It's about 10 a.m. now. I've just gone back to my room. I'm lightheaded, I'm dizzy, and I mean, it was just mostly women and children, burnt
Jesus
head
Christ.
to toe, limbs missing, heads missing.
Oh my God.
You know, there's a video I put up on my story of me doing a chest drain. The gentleman that did the chest drain, and he died on the way to the CT scan. There's another video of 3 girls laying on a bed. That's his 3 girls, who are now orphaned. Their mother didn't even make it into the hospital. She was killed along with their other sister.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know what to tell you. I was here in June. Nothing to this intensity. This is unbelievable. And the bombing is still going on. The rooms are still shaking. The screams are everywhere. It's insane. I need to just take 15 minutes.
This guy.
Or even an hour.
This guy deserves a fucking medal.
Just to rest, to go back in there and go back down again. I feel awful to leave, but I've been there all night and I haven't stopped.
Brother, if you don't get rest, then you can't give these kids the medical care that they need. You gotta get some sleep. This is so fucked up. This is so fucking gross.
My legs are shaking and I feel dizzy and lightheaded. The smell of burnt flesh is still in my nose.
We are living through a Holocaust. If you ever wanted to know what you would do during the Holocaust, this is what you would do. Because there is a Holocaust happening right now. And the thing is, it's not your fault. You didn't fucking start this. And we have no control over the U.S. government. And they fucking keep arming Israel. And this is why you need to hold your leaders accountable. Excuse me. This is why you need to go to your town halls. You need to yell at your representatives. You need them to understand that if they don't appease to their constituents, then they are not going to get their seat. Because if we keep on allowing people in power who don't give a fuck about blowing the head off of a child and then saying this is just the beginning, then we will never, ever progress as a society. Jesus Christ. No words. No words for this guy. It's just fucking unreal. This is from Drop Site News. I really like Drop Site News. They've got some very unbiased news. This is from down on the ground. Killing more than 410 people, scores of children and women. The Trump administration said it was briefed ahead of the strikes, which began approximately at 2 a.m. local time. Not only were they briefed, probably accepted it. Quote, the sky was filled with drones, quadcopters, helicopters, F-16 and F-35 warplanes. The firing from the tanks and vehicles didn't stop, said Abu Bakr Abed, a contributing journalist for Drop Site News, who reports from Deir al-Balah, Gaza. I didn't sleep last night. I had a pang in my heart that something awful would happen. At 2 a.m., I tried to close my eyes. Once it happened, 4 explosions shook my home. The sky turned red and it became heavily shrouded with plumes of smoke. Quote, "Mothers' wails and children's screams echoed painfully in my ears. They struck a house near us. I didn't know who to call. I couldn't feel my knees. I was shivering with fear, and my family were harshly awakened. My mother couldn't take a breath. My father searched around for me. We gathered in the middle of our home, knowing our end may be near. That's the same feeling we have had for 16 months of intense bombing and attacks. The nightmare has chased us again." And we are allied with that nightmare. That hellish devil, Benjamin Netanyahu, is one of our most important allies, at least according to the Trump administration. Now, get this, too. While we are arming this, and we talked about this a little bit ago, and the Houthis are deciding to stop the blockades, the Houthi rebels, I covered this in my previous video, they came out and said, listen, now that you have carpet-bombed Yemen and slaughtered civilians, we are going to increase strikes on American ships in the Red Sea. And then Donald Trump, the so-called peaceful dove, said, Trump warns Iran will be held responsible for Houthi attacks on Yemen. So, hey, MAGA, I thought this guy was a peaceful dove, and now he's actually on the verge of fucking starting World War III. The U.S. president has threatened Iran, while the Pentagon vows overwhelming lethal force against the Houthis in Yemen. Look at this old fuck. Ugh, he's so gross. United States President Donald Trump has threatened to hold Iran responsible for any attacks carried out by the Houthi rebels in Yemen, in an escalation of his pressure campaign against the government in Tehran. The Republican leader issued the warning on his social media platform Truth Social on Monday, signing the post with his name. "Let nobody be fooled. The hundreds of attacks being made by Houthi, the sinister mobsters and thugs based in Yemen, who are hated by the Yemeni people, all emanate from and are created by Iran. Any further attack or retaliation by the Houthis will be met with great force, and there is no guarantee that force will stop there." That's what he wrote on Truth Social. This is just such a rapid escalation. And at the same time, the guy's getting ready to invade Mexico, invade Greenland, invade Panama, potentially invade Gaza, because he said, we're going to take Gaza. We're not buying it. We're taking it. When you say you're going to take land, that means you're going to conquer land. The only way you can conquer land is with the military. If you disagree with me, fuck you. You're an idiot. And we're in an impending trade war with Canada, which he is trying to use to cripple their economy to the point where they will accept annexation. Hey, MAGA, are you excited to go fight and die in a foreign conflict? Yippee! Me too! Don't worry, when we're over there, I won't consider you the enemy because I'll have a real enemy to work with, you know? Once you and I are in the trenches together, dying by scores, I'll consider you my buddy. You could watch my six. Oh! We're so fucking cooked. Now, the last point that I want to make, and we talked about this in the beginning, and we don't have much news about this because it literally just happened 1 hour ago, is Trump and Putin just had a phone call. Putin agrees to halt strikes on Ukraine energy targets for 30 days, Kremlin says after a phone call with Trump. Phone call and limited agreement. So here's the thing. This is a false fucking headline. This is from the BBC. Putin did not agree to the 30-day ceasefire that we proposed. He instead added his own stipulations, and Donald Trump got on his knees, cupped his nuts, and throated his fucking Russian cock because that's who fucking Vladimir Trump truly is. You like my little combo there? One phone call and a limited agreement. What happened today? On Monday, Trump's press secretary, let me zoom in for you because this is very small. A little bit more. There we go. That'll do. One phone call and a limited agreement. What happened today? On Monday, Trump's press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, I hate that bitch, said they were on the 10th yard line of a deal with Russia. But today, despite warm words from both sides, Russian President Putin ultimately did not agree to a full ceasefire after a 90-minute phone call with President Trump. After last week's talks in Saudi Arabia, I would love to know what this fucking phone call went like. Hey there, Vlad, how are you? Donald, I'm going to need you to change stipulation of treaty because I want all of Ukraine. Fucking crazy shit. I'll do anything you want, Vlad. I'll do anything. You just give me one more massage on the front side, real low. After last week's talks in Saudi Arabia where Ukraine agreed to a US-backed ceasefire without any security guarantees, top U.S. diplomat and cuck Marco Rubio said the ball was in Russia's court. And today, Putin outlined Russia's conditions for agreeing to a full ceasefire. A key condition is an end to foreign military aid and intelligence sharing with Kyiv. How stupid do you gotta be? Oh my god! President Trump, I have idea for you, little baby Donald. I will agree to this ceasefire if you agree to stop giving Ukraine military aid and intelligence. But wait, Vladimir, that's the only way that they can defend themselves. How can I be sure that once I stop giving them weapons and intelligence that you won't attack them again? You will not be getting any assurances, Donald, you stupid little bitch. I'm so sorry, sir. I did not mean to offend you. I love you. I love you so much. How's your horse? Like, how do you not recognize that you're getting played like a fucking fiddle by Adolf Hitler? How do you not fucking recognize that, bro? I'm a jackass with a YouTube channel and I can recognize that. Let's keep fucking reading. Let's zoom in a little bit more because I'm a good guy. There we go. All right, so here's the summary. Vladimir Putin agrees to halt strikes on Ukraine energy targets for 30 days, but that's not true. He only agrees to do that upon his own stipulations. Which means that what? Are we just not giving them anything anymore? Volodymyr Zelensky says he supports the energy truce, but insists Russia isn't ready to end the war. In his first response, guys, no fucking shit! This is a ceasefire! It's not the end of a conflict, bro! That's not, what's a ceasefire? It doesn't mean the war is over, so why the fuck would Trump agree to stop giving military aid and intelligence? We're so fucking cooked. We sent over $200 billion to Ukraine, and like, you know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen? The only way that this war is gonna end is if Ukraine agrees to never join NATO and has some sort of written contract. Ukraine is going to have to demilitarize. Ukraine is going to have to disarm all of its soldiers. Ukraine is going to have to give up Donetsk and Luhansk and Kherson and all of these areas that are full of natural gas deposits that provide them with their GDP, the rare earth minerals. What else? Fucking Ukraine is going to have to accept and recognize Crimea as Russian territory. NATO is going to have to give a verbal or written agreement that not only will Ukraine never join NATO, but Ukraine won't even be considered an ally of the Western world. Meanwhile, Vladimir Putin, who illegally invaded Ukraine and slaughtered hundreds of thousands of people, is going to get patted on the fucking head. And you think he's gonna stop there? That's called appeasement, you stupid fuck. This is what Chamberlain did with Hitler. What do you... I can't explain this. I can't explain this. This is so trivial. This is elementary shit. Fucking unreal. Listen, that's all I got for you today. There's going to be more videos tomorrow. I was very busy today, so I didn't get to make much. But, wow, it is a very long video. Holy ever-loving fuck. Before I do end it, I want to remind you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That costs you absolutely nothing, and it helps me a lot. I know everybody always says it, but, like, just for a second, actually fucking do it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's free. It helps me out. If you do want to help me out and help me pay my legal fees, all you got to do is buy some of this dope-ass merch down below. You know, what does it say? Stick to history, bro. I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. But they fucking just erased the fucking records of a Black Medal of Honor recipient from Vietnam and replaced it with DEI Medal of Honor. So I can't fucking stick to history because they're fucking deleting fucking history. God, I'm tweaking. You could buy some merch if you want to help monetarily. You could also use a 20% off discount to Ground News, and you could become a member for $5 to get early access to these videos. And other than that, guys, all I got to tell you is fight, fight, fight. Never stop fighting. Rally, get into the streets, protest peacefully. Go to your town halls, yell at your fucking representatives. Even if they're good, yell at them. I'm dead ass. Even if your representative is a good representative, fucking yell at them and tell them they're still not doing enough. It's never enough. It will never be enough. You have to keep on screaming and kicking and yelling and fighting. That is what we have to do in order to save this fucking nation from these neo-fascist oligarchs that are dismantling our very institutions in front of our own fucking eyes. The Phantom of the Opera is there, inside your mind. I gotta eat. I'm out of here. Thanks, guys. I love you. Catch you on the next one.